Hey guys, it's Tom Shue, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Photoshop for Lightroom users. This will be number 2. The previous tutorial we talked about layers and how they work, stacking order and things like that. In this tutorial we're going to talk about blend modes, because blend modes and layers, they work kind of hand in hand, right? So we're going to look over here at this layers, and we see we have a background here. It goes pink to white, so it's kind of like a pink to white background. We have a texture layer. Now you can see that this texture is on top as far as height is concerned, on the stacking order. So that's going to show up first. If I was to drag that below, or say drag this on top actually, makes it easier, you can see that the pink's on top, okay? Because it's just like opaque pieces of paper being stacked on top of each other. As long as you have the eyes turned on, you'll be able to see it, okay? So I'm going to bring this layer back down there. And now that this texture is laying over top of our color layer, I want to combine these two to make our background layer. So I could grab our opacity slider and make it transparent. See if I bring this up a little bit, and you can see the color underneath, and you can see the texture from this texture layer. Well, that's okay, but there's some more effective ways to create more interesting looking combinations of two layers by combining it with a blend mode. Okay, so this is your blend mode. If you click on it, it gives you all these different options. You can see if I choose this one, it will give me that effect, and this one will give me that effect, and this one will give me this effect. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with blend modes because they don't know which ones do what. So they kind of go in the drop-down menu and they check one, and then they come back and check one. There's an easier way to get through these. In CS6, you just kind of go up and down with the arrows, and it'll let you choose one that you like. Now, I like this one, the hard light. That looks nice. Now, with previous versions of Photoshop, you hold down the Shift key, and it's the plus or minus symbol. Okay, and that will get you up and down on your blend modes via a shortcut, so you don't have to spend time with the drop down and going back in. So the whole idea was to combine these two layers, the texture layer and the color layer, for a background for these flowers. Okay, so I'm going to grab, there's our flowers. Now these flowers, they look like they're just kind of hanging out there. They're on top, and we could help it with the opacity to make them more blend in a little bit, make them look like they live there. Or we could experiment with blend modes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit my arrow key, and I'm going to go up and down until I find a blend mode that maybe looks cool. That one looks pretty interesting because it's grabbing all of that texture and pulling it through of that mask, or damask, how do you call it, for that type of pattern. Okay. Yeah, I'm really not digging any of these blend modes. Well, that's kind of interesting. Alright, so let's get back to normal. I'm just going to hit the left mouse key and open that drop down, go back to normal, and I am going to grab the fill. I'm going to bring the fill down a little bit here and just let those come blend in a little bit. Okay, so now I want to make something darker around the edges. Okay, I want kind of a vignetted thing because your eyes are just going to the edge of the frame. So we're going to create this empty layer here. So if we delete that, we can create a blank layer here. Now we just have this layer. It's empty. We're going to grab our brush tool. We're going to be painting with black, okay? And we'll just come in here and we'll paint around these corners a little bit, and maybe paint around this edge. Okay. Paint up in here black. And then we're going to come in and we're going to grab a blend mode. Okay. So we're going to highlight this, and then we're just going to go down and try to find one that works for us for a blend mode. Maybe overlay looks kind of interesting. Soft light. I kind of like the way soft light looks. So there you have the before and the after with the soft light. So there you can create a vignette. So blending modes and stacking order gives you a lot of control and creativity when you're working inside Photoshop. So that's it. All you Lightroom users trying to get into Photoshop, I hope that helps you understand a little bit about blend modes, how to access them, and experiment to find interesting ways to combine images to create your pieces of art. I want to thank you all for taking time to visit today, and until next time, we'll see you soon.